anyone actually surviving financially right now because rent is up, groceries are up, utilities here in the Berg, they are up. Most people's paychecks haven't increased with that anywhere close to the rate of inflation. And when every single basic expense goes up at the same time, it kind of starts to feel like the math just doesn't work anymore.
Welcome back, y'all. Now, look, I've been seeing a lot of people talking about money, bills, all that, and I ain't gonna lie, something just ain't adding up. Like folks is working, doing what they supposed to do, but it feel like it's tight for no reason.
What are we doing to keep up? Because budget better, it's not cutting it. What are we doing?
America has become completely unaffordable, and I don't know why more people are not talking about this. Half of America doesn't even have a savings, rent is insane, healthcare is a luxury, and somehow the narrative is still people are just bad with money. Like, what money? People are working full-time. Most people have 2 to 3 jobs anymore because you have to. At what point do we stop blaming the people and just accept the fact that the cost of living has simply just outpaced reality? Because everything is this expensive, you have to know exactly where all of your money is going anymore. Like, a budget is just simply a necessity. You have to have one. Started using a budgeting app like mine to figure out where all of my money is going, but it does not make up for the fact that America is too expensive to live in anymore. If you're struggling, you are not alone.
I need to have a vent session for a second about the state of affairs in this country. So I have 2 adult children. One is 18 going on 19 and the other one is 21. My 18-year-old is working currently as an HVAC apprentice and working on getting certified, but he's making $16 an hour, which I live in a small to mid-sized Missouri town, so that's pretty typical around here. Wages are, low compared to a lot of places, but so is the cost of living. But he would also not like to be living at home with mom forever. He's more of like an independent, autonomous person, so apartment living is not for him at all. He wants a place where he can have his truck and his dirt bikes and be able to work on motors and have the freedom to do what he wants with the place and also be able to have all of his stuff. And at this point, honestly, renting a house would cost more than a mortgage payment anyway, but he's been looking for houses and just trying to figure out what he can afford and what he can do. And he found this place that was only $125,000, which is dirt cheap around here. That just doesn't exist anymore, but it had no basement. It was on a slab foundation, I think, and probably needed some work, which he is naturally talented at that stuff. He works in HVAC, he's very mechanically inclined, he can do this stuff, so he's not afraid of a fixer-upper. Found out that the main reason it was priced so cheap is because it was in a flood zone, so it was a no anyway. But keep in mind, $125,000 house in this economy, and when we looked up to see if he did a 5% down payment on this thing with your insurance and PMI and taxes and everything, his payment would still be $1,100 a month for a cheap piece of crap house. And just the look of absolute dread on his face when he realized how completely unaffordable and unattainable it is for him to be able to buy a house and live on his own. Now, my oldest son just turned 21. He's been waiting to turn 21 because he wants to get into the cannabis industry. And it's just like the alcohol industry, where if you want to be a brewer or a bartender, you have to be 21 in order to do it. So this past week, Thursday, he interviewed for a job with a grower. And just a couple of days ago, he was offered the position and officially accepted it. And in that time, less than a week, we decided to start a war with Iran. And so when he interviewed for the job, gas prices were around $2.50 a gallon where I'm at, and now they are already at $3 a gallon and climbing. So just in the time between when he interviewed for this job and when he accepted this job, gas prices have gone up 50 cents a gallon, and they're not done climbing yet. And this is an issue because this job, there's a lot of dispensaries here in town where if he had, ended up there, he'd probably be a little bit better off. But this was the job opening that was available at the time for him to get into the industry. And it is a farm, which is 30 miles up the interstate from where we live. So now he is going to be driving one way to work 30 miles at a time when gas prices are going through the roof, because we decided it was a good idea to start a completely unwarranted, unjustified, and unnecessary war with Iran. And I'm now sitting here thinking about my own situation, where my own currently hourly wage is, and considering if I was their age, if I was just starting out, so thinking about buying the same house that I live in right now at its current value, at current interest rates, with the same % down payment that I paid for this house back in 2017. And I realized that my payment would be double what it currently is. And I, as a 40-year-old woman who has been working for 24 years of my life, could not afford this place on my own. At 40 years old, I would need a roommate in order to live in this very modest, 1,300 square foot, 1968 ranch style home. It's not a fancy house by any stretch. It's what most people would consider to be essentially a starter home by today's standards. And I could not afford it on my own on my current wages. So my question is, how the hell are we expecting these young kids to do it? For someone to start out, even in my area, in rural Missouri, They would have to make $30 an hour in order to be earning a living wage, in order to live on their own and support themselves without the help of a spouse or a roommate, just for a single person to live and make it on their own, to be able to afford a vehicle payment, vehicle insurance, a mortgage or rent payment, and all of the utilities and groceries and cell phone bills and stuff that go along with just living your life. That's no fun stuff. It's just to live. They would need to make $30 an hour. Meanwhile, we have a government that is more interested in starting wars and harassing other countries and harassing immigrants that are living in this country than they are with their own people, than they are with helping the working class in any way, shape, or form with any kind of meaningful legislation or reform. We have a do-nothing Congress that is sitting on their hands and doing absolutely nothing to help any of the working class people. I'm mad about it for myself, but I'm even more mad about it for my children. Something needs to change. Something's got to give. And frankly, at the midterms, it would be great if the Democrats are able to take over, because at least they'll do something to stop the nonsense that is happening in the executive branch that is going on unchecked. But are they going to do anything to actually help the working class people? At the end of the day, even the Democrats are doing the absolute bare minimum to be able to claim that they are for the working class, because they, right along with the Republicans, are taking money from wealthy campaign donors, and any policy, any legislation that they pass ultimately is going to help them and not us. So where does this end? How far does this go before we, the people, cannot afford to live no matter what age we are?
There's a really bizarre thing happening with cost of living, and I need you guys to tell me if you can relate to this. A handful of years ago, I feel like it was a normal experience to go to the mall, go to a shop on a weekend, bebop around, see a cute top, and be able to impulsively purchase said thing without much thought. Let's not get into the bean soup of it all. This is not a discussion about sustainability or any of those things. But you could go into a Zara, a Madewell, an Abercrombie, and see a cute top that was sub $50 and be like, this is cute. I'm going to buy this sweater. I'm going to buy this top, right? Fast forward to 2026. I've had a few of those experiences this year where I'm looking for that thing. I just want to touch things. I want to feel things. I want to walk around. I want to, do whatever. And I may see a cute sweater or a cute top. And now that exact same thing costs $80 or more. It's not only the exact same top that it was just a handful of years ago, but I think we can all agree that the quality is a little bit less. I have things in my closet, no joke, you guys, from 15 years ago, from places like H&M that are literally just 100% cotton tops that I literally still have and wear to this day. You can agree or disagree in the comments of whether you think this is a reality or not. My financial situation is a little bit different now than it was a few years ago too. So maybe I am bean souping myself here. I'm just making an observation. I'm making an observation, and I'm curious if anyone else feels the same way.
See, this is what I be talking about. You hearing the same story over and over, different people, same problem. Everything high, but ain't nothing really easing up. And folks ain't even really just complaining. It's more like, what is going on?
You want to know why most of America is struggling? Because the price of groceries have gotten absolutely insane. I went to the store this morning and I got stuff to make 2 meals, and it was $78. I could probably go to any number of restaurants in the Green Bay area for that price, but that's not really in the budget either. So what are we doing here?
I'm in a fucking mood, so I'm just gonna say this real quick. Remember back in November when a bunch of you voted for Trump and you were like, we want cheaper groceries? Yeah. I just spent $150 and I basically got nothing. Literally, even the girl ringing up my groceries was like, damn. I'm like, yeah, I don't know what the fuck just happened, but you guys voted for this? Where is it? Please tell me, because that was supposed to be the good thing to come out of his presidency, and it's still not happened. So.
And that's really it right there. Ain't nobody trying to be dramatic. It's just real life that they talking about. Stuff that used to be regular, now you got to think about it, budget it, move stuff just to make it work. And we keep hearing the same thing from everybody. You can't ignore it. So if you've been feeling like your money ain't stretching how it used to, yeah, you ain't tripping. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Let me know what it's looking like on your end. I'm Southern Economist. Till the next time, I'm out. Keep your eyes open.
True, don't get sugar-coated. Keep it real so you know we gon' be speaking on it. Got the latest headlines on what's going down. We keep our eyes open before it all hits the ground. Southern Economists, hit that like. Make sure you subscribe. Real talk, real true, real life, we go survive. I got my eye wide open, but when the markets hit the ground, you got them pockets wide open. When them dividends come around, oh baby, just hit that like, subscribe. I might teach you a little something about how to make $1 out of dime. I'm a real prepper, stockpiling before the shit hit the fan. I only trust in God, I don't depend on man. True, don't get sugar-coated. We keep it real and we keep it rolling.